Hey guys, Jill here with PEScience, and today we are gonna make veggie pizza. Now I know what you're thinking, veggie pizza, but this is not your typical vegetable pizza. This is a delicious, savory appetizer with a amazing ranch cream cheese spread. It's typically served cold. It's an amazing appetizer that you can bring to parties or even just for a high protein snack for yourself. We're using the PEScience multi-purpose protein, so let's get into it. We're gonna start out by making our crust. So we're gonna add all of our dry ingredients into a mixing bowl. So first we're gonna add 50 grams of coconut flour. Next, we're gonna grab 50 grams of all-purpose flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I sometimes like to add a little seasoning or salt just for taste, so I'm just gonna sprinkle in some salt as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and mix these all up evenly, just kind of sift it through. Sometimes I'll just kind of move the bowl around, make sure that it's evenly distributed. Next, we're gonna add our wet ingredient, which is just one ingredient, and it's 230 grams of non-fat Greek yogurt. Then we're gonna add 100 grams of the multi-purpose protein powder. Then we're gonna go ahead and mix these all together. Now it's gonna be a little awkward. You're gonna kind of have to work the flour into the Greek yogurt, but that's fine. So go ahead and take your time with it until you get it all completely mixed and coated up. It might start to look like little individual chunks, so just keep mashing it together and eventually it will continue to kind of form into a ball into the center. And once I get to this point, I'm gonna just go in with my hands and then form the rest into a ball and kind of just mix it together. And your hands might get a little bit of the batter on it, and that's okay, obviously. And this is why we lift weights, so that we can really work our batter in to make delicious treats to eat. Just really go for it. So you're gonna work it into a dough ball like this, and then we are going to get some parchment paper, and this is what we're gonna roll it out into our pizza crust. So you're gonna wanna start with just a teeny bit of flour just to make sure that nothing sticks. So we're gonna put that on our surface, and then we're also going to use our rolling pin and we're gonna kinda flour that up as well, just so that the dough doesn't stick to the rolling pin. There's really no right or wrong way to making the shape of your pizza. I kind of like to do a rectangle, more like a flatbread, so that I can cut it into squares, but you do you. And then you'll notice you might have, some rigid edges. So just to make it look a little more aesthetically pleasing, I just kind of pat the edges around so it looks nice and clean. So then once you have your crust ready to go, we're gonna take a baking sheet and we're just going to transfer over the parchment paper onto the baking sheet, and we are gonna preheat the oven to 375 and cook for 12 minutes. All right, let's pop this baby in the oven. So while the crust is baking, we're gonna make the cream cheese dressing. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. Now you can use full fat if you would like, but if you wanna save on calories a bit, go with the non-fat version. And then we have 8 ounces of non-fat cream cheese. Again, you can do full fat or reduced fat, whatever works best for you. For the flavor, you're gonna pick up a ranch seasoning packet. It doesn't have to be the Hidden Valley brand, it can be any brand. And we're gonna use an entire packet, and then we're gonna go ahead and mix this all together. You might wanna let your cream cheese sit out for a teeny bit just so it can soften, to make it easier on you when you're mixing these all together. So then once you have this all mixed, we're gonna chop up our veggies for chopping. You can do whatever vegetables you want. I prefer cauliflower, broccoli, shredded carrots, and some tomatoes. But again, you do you. You can do about a cup each, but again, you might have a little leftover or not have enough. It's just really up to you of how crowded you want to make the vegetables on the top. So we have our pizza crust ready to go. I let this cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. You want to make sure it's completely cool before we spread our cream cheese frosting because it could melt if you don't. So we're gonna go ahead and evenly spread it. I like to get this pretty thick. We're gonna go ahead and add our vegetables. So I just kind of scatter them evenly, make it look aesthetically pleasing, because everyone likes to try something new when it looks delicious. And look at how beautiful and colorful that is. Can't wait to slice it up and take a bite. All right, I moved it over to the cutting board and I cannot wait to taste this. So let's get into it. It's so refreshing, easy way to get your veggies in, and you wouldn't even believe it, but it's high protein as well. You're not gonna wanna miss out on this recipe, so head on over to PEScience.com, grab yourself some multi-purpose protein, and I can't wait to see you next time.